Good evening. Welcome into another Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime. I forgot that part during the tease. Josh McKinney joined by Jamie McCracken. We had to rearrange the schedule again, Jamie, due to Mother Nature again making an impact, but another decent show once at.
Wasn't even that much snow and they cancel games. I don't get it. Just a little bit of flurries cancels games. That's all good. We got a Mountain Top 10 showdown in Somerset, a 57th District girls matchup in Sayersville, and even some NBA hoops action with the celebrity game. It's Drake versus Kevin Hart, coaching-wise, so you know I'm going to like that.
NBA hoops action is putting that very lightly. Should be a lot of fun, so let's jump right to it. To Memorial Gym, the Hazard High School 2006 KPAW State Champion cheerleading squad honored at halftime of Hazard and Jackson City. First quarter of the game, Jason Johnson kicks it out to Griffin Wells. He misses the three, but Johnson there to grab the board and the putback. Bulldogs leading by 4. Zach Holland, the nice drive for Jackson City, switches hands to get the bucket. Tigers, though, down 5. U-Pike top play contender. Next possession, Sherman Collins drives baseline. The spin move, shot off the glass, cuts the deficit to 3. Second quarter now, Ryan Smith down to Johnson. Johnson increases the lead back to 5. City now down 9. Holland misses the 3, but Jerry Fraley comes down with the board. No one's there. You know, I'm just going to put it right back up again. Tigers down 7. A little later, John Turner going to work.
I knew we'd see a Turner boy.
Pulls up from 3, knocks it down. Deficit just 1. Another assist, though, for Smith. Dumps it off to Wells, and Wells gets bumped. Still gets it to go,
bumped.
Though. We go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. It counts for 2 either way. Hazard improves to 16-4 on the season, 48-39 over visiting Jackson City. Now, before the start of the game, the Hazard High School hanging 2 jerseys in the rafters and inducting 5 into its Athletics Hall of Fame. Former Kentucky Wildcat and national champion Johnny Cox had his jersey hung, and the induction class included former head coach Bill Fannin, his daughter and former player Candy Fannin, former multi-sport star Joseph Hagens, and former regional champion players Justin Hicks and Greg Napier.
She's one of the better players that ever played in this region, you know, and she was, and I had an opportunity to coach her, you know, and not many people had the opportunity to coach their daughter, and I also had an opportunity to coach my granddaughter. So it's been real special, but you know, tonight with us, both of us going in to get together, you know, made it extra special. And Greg Napier was my assistant coach and was a big help to me when I coached the boys, you know, and he got in tonight too. So tonight was very special for me.
It means everything to me. I grew up as a kid in these stands as 8, 9, 10 years old watching my heroes play, and well, all I wanted was a kid to wear the blue and gold, and I got to do that for 4 years, and we got a chance to go to a couple of trips to state tournament, and had a good 4-year run, and it's memories that honestly I think about every day. And so getting inducted in the Hall of Fame is priceless. You could hand me a bar of gold and it wouldn't mean any more to me.
Good stuff. Stephen Butcher, Southwestern Lady Warriors, top-ranked girls team in the Mountain Top 10 at Pulaski County. Now the Lady Maroons trying to end a 13-game winning streak over there at Southwestern. First quarter, Peyton Ingram takes it right to the rack. Reggie Cundiff, no, that's an 8th grader. Seriously? Nice block there. Second quarter, Ingram says, okay, I got you this time. Splits right through the defense, but Pulaski down by 13. It's 21-8. Later, Cassie Reed, the kick out to Kennedy Harris. She's also in 8th grade.
That's a long kick out.
She's also in 8th grade, though. Did you hear that? It's crazy. Yeah. They've only lost 3 times all season. You know, Coach Butcher's team pretty young. Lexi McDonald, she's got range too, and I almost lost the ball there. So there you go. Pulaski down 10 at the break. She's got a rainbow ball worth of shots. Second half, third quarter, another Reed skip pass, another 3-ball by Harris. She goes for 11. Favorite play of the night, though, comes right here from the leading scorer of the night, Samantha Fitzgerald. Okay, she got a layup. That's not a big deal, but watch this. Inbounds play, stolen.
Don't you just love when that happens? Keep
Love
the
it.
camera on the player after a bucket and they reward you.
Booyah. Kaboom. Whatever you want to say. She had a game-high 22. The Lady Warriors win their 14th straight game, 66-36. So they beat Pulaski at their place by 30. Then they come to Pulaski and beat them by 30 on their home court. Yeah, look out. Coach Butcher's team is rolling.
That's a pretty impressive win.
Yeah.
Coming up on the show, a couple of former Kentucky Wildcats were at the Rising Stars Challenge, but we will instead have, as you mentioned, Drake and Kevin Hart in the celebrity game, which is a little bit more entertaining.
Yeah, Hopefully. Also, Southwestern and Pulaski, we saw the girls. The boys also play tonight. We'll have those highlights next. You want me to get fans, Josh?
Go ahead, take
I got fans. Time for our Fans in the Stands, sponsored by Eastern Kentucky University. Wait a minute, these guys, they aren't fans. They're part of the media.
But we're fans of them.
That's right. Well, one is a teacher, Michael Childress, the one that's wavy, and then Steve Cornelius, of course. He takes photos, and he is the editor of the Commonwealth Journal. Also threw some Pulaski County student section stuff in there. They are the Fans in the Stands, sponsored by EKU. Get chilly. The Southwestern Warriors are currently the #2 team in the Mountains and will have a date with the current #1, Perry Central, tomorrow at Pulaski County. Tonight, well, they were at Pulaski County, but to play, Pulaski County. The Maroon student section fired up. My man in the penguin costume, he told me that was a Kmart special. Yeah, for real, bro. Saw Jake Johnson, too. Coach Wright.
Laps in the first quarter and a 3-minute lapse in the second quarter. Let's do it the whole game. Let's play on the defensive end, and the offensive stuff will take care of itself. All right, let's go.
Hey, give me a piece of double bubble before the game. Gotta love Coach Wright. No worries, Coach. Team came to ball, especially your point guard, Peyton Gover. The dude went off, saw the bucket there. He also dished the rock, handoff to Danny Butt from downtown. But what? Yeah, but a 3. Later, Gover, you see, he just stands there, and then he just quickly fires up a shot. I'm going to shoot. I don't know how you guard it. I tried to play him one-on-one one time. He killed me 11-6. All right, now Trayvon Sylvester.
Shocker.
Hey, I beat a lot of kids, okay? That's not saying much, though. Trayvon Sylvester, he had a good night. He came out, scored the first 6 points for the Maroons. He finished with 17. Riley Hall, though, also with a good game. He finished in double figures with 15 on the night. That's a splash ball for you. But the Warriors, they lit it up. Gover again. That kid's nasty. Game high 26. Let's go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. 80-70, the final tonight in Somerset. Warriors sweep the regular season series with the Maroons. Could be a potential 12th region tournament game, though, down the road.
Harlan at Pineville. It's a district game in football, not in basketball, but still the Battle of Highway 119. Nonetheless, we start in the fourth quarter. Harlan down 8, so it's over, right, Jamie? No. Drew Parks for 3. Woo! Deficit trimmed to 5. Pineville still doing work down low. Trent Lefevre's off the backside cut. That increases the lead back up to 7. Lions on top. But Pineville is hitting 2s. Harlan, well, the Green Dragons are hitting 3s, especially Killian Ledford. How many trays can they hit in this 90-second highlight? That's their second. Pineville inside again. It's the same guy. Lefevre's. Lions up 6. 1:06 to play, so they need 2 threes to tie. Well, that's no problem. Ledford again. Then with the clock winding down, you shoot it. No, you shoot it. You know what? Fine, I'll shoot it. Splash. 4 threes in 3 minutes, and we go to overtime. Fittingly, Pineville starts out nice, takes 2 tries, but Cody Carnes, you knew we were going to have him in the highlights.
Right, he's tough.
Next time down the floor, the same exact play, the same exact result. Carnes again. But here's this guy. Ice cold.
More like red hot.
Ledford, the Lion Killer. I'd hate to play him in horse. He just doesn't miss. And this one from downtown Harlan. Look at that.
Whoa.
That's camera work by Caleb. That's the dagger with less than 30 seconds to play. In case you blinked.
Oh my.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got one ahead. 6 threes, 4 from Ledford in the highlights. Pineville won the Battle of 119 on the football field this season, but the Green Dragons get their revenge tonight on the hardwood. Harlan knocks off the Mountain Lions 69-64 in overtime. That was a fun highlight.
This is such a Caleb no highlight. I love it. All right, how about this performance tonight, though? You thought that was good. How about the former Perry Central Commodore, Braxton Beverly? Dude went off. He dropped 70 points tonight, made 19 of his 26 field goal attempts, shooting 14 of 20 from behind the three-point line. That's 14 3 balls. He also dished out 6 assists, so he had to share a little bit. Hargrave beats Genesee Academy 131-86, so Beverly almost outscored the opponent by himself. Again, going off for 70 points tonight in a win for Hargrave Military Academy. It kind of worked out that he transferred there, I guess.
All you could do is shake your head. That's all you could do.
70?
Still to come on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime, John Calipari talks defense heading into tomorrow's game in Columbia, South Carolina.
But first, number 9, Magoffin County aims to bounce back from last week's district loss when it hosts Sheldon Clark.
The 9th-ranked Magoffin County Lady Hornets have lost just twice in their last 7 games entering tonight. One of those losses, though, last week to Johnson Central by 1. Scott Castle's team trying to bounce back tonight against another district team, Sheldon Clark. Hope Lafferty and the Sheldon Clark Lady Cardinals traveling to Magoffin County to take on the Lady Hornets in a 57th district matchup. Lady Hornets scoring about as quickly as you can to start the game. They win the tip. Jazzy Howard to a wide open Jalissa Gibson for the easy bucket. And yeah, that's about as quick as you can score. Off the Sheldon Clark turnover, Leslie Howard gets it up to Gibson, who again lays it up and in. 4 of the game's first 6 points for the senior guard.
That was a nice pass, too.
Yeah, Leslie Howard reads the pass up top, and sure, she comes up with another good play. That's about as easy a bucket as you can get. Magoffin County went on a 10-0 run to start the game. Sheldon Clark finally on the board off the catch and shoot by Paige Maynard from the wing. Lady Hornets by 7. Then off the Lady Cardinal miss, it's a Howard special. Jazzy, the full court pass to her twin Leslie, hanging out under the basket for another easy finish, lead out to 9. Leslie now returning the favor to her sister. Jazzy drives. Jazzy will finish. Nice bucket there for 0-0. We go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Magoffin County cruises over Sheldon Clark 66-32. Lady Hornets 4-3 in district play. The other 57th district matchup going on tonight. Johnson Central defeated Paintsville 54-43.
All right, the Knox Central Panthers at the Paintsville Tigers tonight. A little 13th region versus 15th region basketball. Slow start for both teams in this one. I mean, so slow that nobody scored in the first 2 minutes until Darren Morris finally gets a nice little easy deuce there in the first quarter. Panthers settling now into their offensive set, taking advantage of their size down low. Austin Hall. Yeah, those are some flowing locks.
That is beautiful.
I like that. Knocks up by 4 off the Panther turnover. Luke Trimble now making him play. Dribble drive and the floater. Lee trimmed to 2. Knox Central staying true to their inside game though. Sophomore Tanner Smith. No match for the senior big guy for Knox. Chad Marcy having his way underneath. How about a UPI top plate contender? Second quarter, Roger Maynard. Whoa!
Nice.
Scoopage. That was pretty, but this one would belong to Knox Central. Wade Lyford. Good finish. Let's go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Knox Central defeats the Paintsville Tigers with ease, 91-62. Fun fact, these two teams played each other 6 days ago, and the score was similar to tonight. That final was 90-60.
I'm Tony, and this is Lady Tiger Basketball on WYMT.
She's made lots of appearances.
I get another Caleb highlight. The Middlesboro girls have already won more games than they have in 7 years. Barberville is 2 games below 500, trying to get back on track. Fourth quarter, Shelby Jones gets the offensive board for the Lady Tigers. The putback that cuts it to 7. But this is basketball or football. Lauren Spurlock, the Hail Mary pass to Bailey Hensley. Touchdown, Middlesboro. Just kidding, it's a layup. The Lady Tigers, Lady Jackets would get the win on the road, though, in Barberville, 49-37. Much more to come on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime. But as we go to break, here is this week's Alice Lloyd College Boys and Girls Mountain Top 10s. I gave you fans, I'll take the Long John Silver's nothing but net shot of the night. Back to Memorial Gym here in Hazard. John Turner of Jackson City working the ball skills on Zach Fleming, and just pulls up and drains the 3-ball over Fleming. That made it a 1-point game at the time, but the Tigers would fall to the Bulldogs by 9. John Turner, though, providing us with tonight's Long John Silver's nothing but net shot of the night. How about we get you set for this weekend's action with the Saturday slate, sponsored all season long by Union College. Defense, defense, defense. That was your cue. That is what John Calipari and his coaching staff have been preaching lately in practice.
You want me to just get in my defensive stance?
Whatever you want to do.
The Wildcats held Georgia to 22% shooting on Tuesday and limited Florida to 39% shooting on Saturday, all while forcing 25 total turnovers. Cal says the better defensive numbers are due to an increased focus on defense and better execution on game day.
You know, a lot of our issues defensively was because we had shifted to really work on our offense, because I thought our offense a month ago was just pitiful. And so we spent most of our time trying to figure out, how does this team need to play? Now we're back playing defense, and if you walked in our practice, you're not seeing us play much offense. We're really working on our team defense.
Number 22, Kentucky at South Carolina tomorrow, Saturday the 13th. The Wildcats 18-6 on the year. The Gamecocks 21-3. The two programs have met 60 times before tomorrow, with Kentucky holding a 49-11 advantage. The game is set for 12 o'clock on ESPN. Now, kind of continuing to get you set for the weekend, the NBA All-Star festivities tipped off tonight in Toronto with the All-Star Celebrity Game.
And as always, it did not disappoint with the entertainment. Let's get to it. Drake, you used to call me on my cell phone. Not really.
Yeah, Kevin Hart's having nothing of that.
Those are the two coaches for you. Muggsy Bogues, the fancy move in the lane there, gets fouled by Tracy McGrady. And, it's a celebrity game, man. Are we really going to keep scoring this game? Now McGrady, with the real basketball play, flips it to Milo Ceronic. Oh, okay, yeah, his dancing skills are terrible. Then what do we got here?
I gave you the highlights because of that guy. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's a tennis player.
Okay, what's going on here? Yep. I really don't know what just happened there, but you get the point. Team Canada, go Drake. And then Kevin Hart's just beating up somebody. Okay, 74-60 something. Whatever happened in that game, I don't really know, but Drake won. I'm really happy. 74-64. That was the final. There you go. Thank you.
There you kind of have another Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime. A lot more, though, coming up tomorrow night.
That's a celebrity game, man. I don't know. The U-Pike men and women closed out their home schedule versus St. Catherine. We'll have highlights from the Don Marshall Ram 12th Region Shootout. And, of course, the latest Sports Overtime Rewind.
Yeah, be sure to tune in back in tomorrow with Jamie and Lauren Cash. But until then, thank you for watching and have a good night.